Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we're doing a good old-fashioned luxury beauty haul. But before we go any further, let's take a second to grab our iced coffee or a hot coffee. Let's take a sip and let's get started. So as many of you know, I now have my online beauty consulting service, which is where you get the chance to talk to me one-on-one and just pick my brain about any beauty concerns you might have, whether you want some help getting the right shade matches for you or picking out some new makeup. The benefit of my service is I work for myself. I don't work for any brand, so you won't have that sales pressure that is often found in a department store. So to make the appointment today or to get a gift card for someone else, click the link in the description box down below. All right, let's start off with some Chanel. Here I have the new Ultra Le Teint foundation. This is a ultra wear all day comfort flawless finish liquid foundation. So I recently did a review, wear test, demonstration, all of that. This is a new version of the exact same foundation that came out a couple of years ago. You know, honestly, I don't really spot much of a difference with this foundation and the previous one, except maybe the shades looked a little bit different, but I have the B30 here, which I'm really enjoying. But I did notice a difference in the shades when I did the swatches. For some reason, they looked very different. But anyway, I really enjoy this. I think it's a pretty medium coverage foundation. I did one pump today, and I'm certain if I did two pumps I could get like really full coverage here. But I mean, full for me, this is like a light to medium, more on like a perfect medium. I think Chanel doesn't really do very heavy duty, heavy coverage foundations, which is fine by me because I prefer the lighter formulas. But this one here would be my go-to version of a full coverage, and I think it's great. It's very long lasting, long wearing. It performs all day long. It doesn't fade away. It doesn't pick up any dry skin or settle into any creases. So overall, a great product. I also picked up one of the new correctors, new concealers here. This is the exact same formula, same wear. The only difference is this, I saw a really big difference in the color scheme or colors available. So I have the number B20, which is what I've worn in the old version of the correctors, B20, but this B20 and the old B20 are completely different colors. My theory is that there's a larger shade selection. So perhaps the previous B20, like they kept the number, but maybe they just moved it along the line of shade selection, because this here, I think, I don't know, I'm wearing it today. I really like it, but it has like a sort of peachy pinky undertone, which the classic B20 did not. It was more like a neutral beige. So that was just a really big difference that I noticed, but I still really like it. I like the wear. It doesn't crease, it doesn't feather. I find that the new B20 shade is more brightening and illuminates more. It just kind of awakens the under eye a bit more. So it's always nice if there is going to be a difference from the old version, that it's a difference that I like. So you let me know if you've picked up the new foundation and concealers from Chanel. What was your experience with the shade range? I cannot wait to hear from you. I also, for some reason, picked up another new foundation. This is from Sisley. This is their Phyto Teint Nude. Funny story, I was on the Sisley Canada website a couple of weeks ago and I saw this, so I decided to pick it up. And for some reason, it has disappeared off of the internet. If you go on the Sisley site, I mean, perhaps it is there today, but for the past few weeks, it has been gone, scraped off the internet. I promise you that I bought it online, but I don't know what happened. It just vanished. I imagine it'll come back. I imagine it'll resurface one day. I don't know what happened. Perhaps it was launched prematurely, maybe it's sold out, I don't know. It's very confusing and very strange, but I promise it was there. I certainly hope it comes back at some point. I have the shade here 2W1 Light Beige. The shade range for Sisley needs nuances. They have like warm, cool, neutral undertones, but sometimes it's such a huge jump from one to the other. It's quite staggering. So I went with the 2W1, which I think is a pretty good fit for me. The foundation itself, I like. I don't know, I'm still a bit confused by it. It's very, very sheer. It's like the most sheer foundation I have. I would say it covers less than the Water Fresh tint, and it lasts significantly less longer than any other foundation that I have. I just find that it doesn't really hold up to anything, mask wearing, heat, humidity. It kind of, you know, fades away very quickly. So I like the finish when I apply it, but you need to have a good skin day to wear this, because in a few hours your skin will be showing through regardless. But I do like it. I think that the shade range could be improved, and I think it should be brought back to the website at some point. I don't know what's going on. I reached out to customer service like last week, and they told me that the foundation was going to be back up on the site the next day. Spoiler, that did not happen. So I don't know what's going on. Let me know if you've seen it since then. Another item I got from Sisley when I ordered the foundation is one of their single eyeshadows, and this is called Sparkling Topaz. This is so beautiful. I love their single eyeshadows. A lot of them have this satin finish formula. Some are matte, but this here is a satin, and it's like an antique copper, a little bit brown, but the satin finish gives it a slight little golden shift, and it just elevates your eye so easily. This could be a one and done very, very easily, because the coppery brown shade with a little bit of gold just looks like it's at least two different colors. It looks like two eyeshadows. You just apply it, blend it out, add some mascara, and you're done. It looks effortless, it looks beautiful, and as always, their eyeshadows are very creamy, very easy to blend, and very, very long wearing. I always wear an eyeshadow primer beforehand, but I just find that they're so great. So I will definitely keep adding to my collection these beautiful Sisley single eyeshadows here. And I heard from a friend of a friend that there will probably be a friends and family sale in the fall for Sisley. So build your cart. I know I am. And you know, maybe in a few weeks or maybe in a month or two, there'll be another sale. The sale in the spring of this year and last year was 20%, which is pretty significant, especially like at these prices. 20% goes a long way. Now, I got myself a sample of the brand new Miss Dior Eau de Parfum. Miss Dior has been around since the 1940s, and she has had many new versions of herself. So this is the latest version. The 2009-2008 version of Miss Dior Chérie was my classic signature fragrance. This was my perfume that I would wear every day. I bought myself multiple bottles of that fragrance. It was so good. Since then, it has been reformulated and turned into different incarnations, and the packaging is gorgeous. I love the field of wildflowers. It's so colorful, so bright, so feminine, so Miss Dior, and it reminds me a lot of the notes. We have violet and rose and vanilla, which I think are all represented here in a lot of the shades chosen for the packaging. You get your vanilla and your musk, so it has that soft, slightly gourmand, slightly sensual fragrance. You get lots of violet, which is nice and fresh. And I don't want to say bubbly, but it's a floral note that's not too heavy. We have a peony here as well, but I swear you get watermelon or maybe aquatic notes. If I just compare it to the other versions of Miss Dior that I've tried and owned over the years, this feels very fresh and very aquatic compared to the other ones. I know there's some fruit in here, like maybe peach, maybe some nectarine. It's a really lovely fragrance. I like it. I don't know if I love it. I've been wearing it on my skin for a few days and I really like it. I just don't know if I love it. I don't think a version of Miss Dior has really captured my heart the way that the one did in like 2009. Like that version there, that one was so caramelly, buttery, syrupy, decadent. It was a lot and I loved it. This version here is really beautiful. I may have to keep wearing it to see if it just develops on me a bit better, but it's very lovely. If you like the Miss Dior collection, I think you'll like this as well. I just long for that very syrupy caramel, almost like popcorn scented version, the Miss Dior Chérie from like the mid 2000s. That one was a knockout in my opinion. And that version would last all day. You did not need to reapply or zhuzh up. This one here, it's an eau de parfum, but I don't find it to be as robust or as long wearing as some of the other versions. Listen, I think it's beautiful, the packaging, the beautiful little scarf around the bottle neck and all the flowers. I think it's really, really beautiful. It's just maybe not the one that I'm going to purchase. I mean, I might buy it just because I am a fanatic and I love Dior, but I don't know. I kind of was hoping to see the old version again. The old version that I'm referring to me, reminds me of Lancôme La Vie est Belle. If you didn't get to try that fragrance when it came out, if you try Lancôme La Vie est Belle and then mix this new one here, you kind of get a sense of what I'm talking about here. Let me know if you tried the new Miss Dior or if you already purchased it, or what do you think? I got a sample first because even though I love a lot of Dior fragrances and I've loved the Miss Dior collection in general, it's always good to just get a sample first because you never know what's going to happen on your skin. Okay, next up are some samples here that I've been trying from Guerlain Skincare, and this here is their Advanced Youth Watery Oil. You can use this before your moisturizer or after. I like to use my oil after the moisturizer just to sort of like lock and seal all the moisture and everything on my skin. I love a face oil. I love the one from Chanel, their Jasmine face oil. I love one from Chantecaille and this one here from Guerlain. Normally what I do is I'll apply a few drops after all of my skincare before sunscreen, or sometimes I will mix a drop into my foundation. More in the winter when your skin is just a little bit more parched, I will just add one drop, mix it into my foundation. It adds a little bit more moisture and hydration, and it also makes your foundation a bit more luminous and also a bit more sheer. What's amazing about this one here from Guerlain is this is described as a youth watery oil. It has to be the most lightweight oil I've ever tried. A lot of face oils feel like oil, so if the thought of a face oil grosses you out, if you just don't like that feeling, like I have dry, dehydrated skin, so the more oil the better, but if the thought of an oil on your face kind of icks you out, try this one from Guerlain. It's very watery. It doesn't feel as oily, as slick, as heavy. I know a lot of you have tried this, so feel free to testify about this Guerlain watery oil. It feels very watery, very fluid, and it doesn't look as oily or as slick on your face compared to others. Like the Chanel one, the Jasmine face oil, or even the Chantecaille Rose de Mai face oil do look and feel like a classic face oil, where this one here is just like water with some magical oil properties. It's great. So I think this will be my next face oil that I purchase. My Guerlain counter is going to have an event in a couple of weeks, so I'm going to pick it up then, and hopefully, fingers crossed, knock on wood, I'll be able to get a couple of the new Guerlain lipstick cases at the same time, because I think those beautiful fall collection lipstick cases should be coming out in the next couple of weeks, hopefully at the end of the month here in Canada. So I'll be getting that together. Okay, so next up is an item that I wasn't planning on getting, but the more I saw reviews, photos, swatches, I was like, okay, I'm doing it. This is the NARS Climax Eyeshadow Palette. So I talked about this in a couple Will I Buy It videos. We've been seeing some sneak peeks of this here, and I really wasn't convinced at first. First of all, promo photos never do anything justice. Sometimes a promo photo looks so different than the actual product itself, and I think that's the case for this here. But then I kept seeing videos and photos of this palette and it looked beautiful, and I have to say it looks beautiful in person as well. I was a little thrown off because it's 9 shadows, which is a lot for me, but one thing to remember is it doesn't matter how many colors are in a palette. You do not have to use all of them at once. You could just use 1 or 2 if you wanted to. So I kept that in mind. I have to say that it swatches beautifully. I have not worn it yet, but I will in the very near future. And what sold me is that this has a beautiful balance of matte and also more satiny, bright, fun finishes, but also a combination of cool and warm. I've seen multiple different looks from multiple different people, and it never really looked like it was the same palette. Some people did like dark bluey smoky eyes, some people went into more of the green colors, some people stayed more neutral, and it just looks like it has so much variety. And also this is supposed to be part of their fall collection, I believe, and to me this all just screams like fall colors, fall foliage. So yeah, I did it. I finally did it. I caved in. So you will be seeing this on my channel in the near future. Moving on, the next couple of brands here were actually sent to me in PR. So the first one here is Givenchy, which I've talked about recently. This is their new L'Interdit Red Edition. This is an eau de parfum. Now, if you like the Interdit perfume family, you will love this new red version. It is that same warm, spicy, gourmand fragrance, but the red version here has blood orange and ginger. So you still get that gourmand, slightly sweet fragrance, but this bright blood red orange and that little spice of ginger. You know how ginger is like sharp and spicy and kind of sweet at the same time? It kind of lightens this fragrance here, and it's so beautiful. You still get that slight vanilla, musky, and I swear there's like some star anise in here that just, oh, it's such a lovely fragrance. And I know a lot of you have tried it recently, and I know you love it as well. Like if you like the rest of the Interdit family, you're going to love this one too. And then of course, this brand new lipstick formula from Givenchy, the Le Rouge Sheer Velvet. So the deep velvet is more of a very saturated, opaque matte lipstick, whereas the sheer velvet is more of a sheer powdery finish. And this shade here is number 16 Nude Boisé, which is my new favorite nude. It is nude without washing me out. It offers the perfect amount of like pinky brown, your lip but better. It offers you just the right amount of coverage, and don't get thrown off with the matte name. It's not drying, it doesn't feel heavy, it doesn't feel like a thick wax. It sort of just feels like a lip balm on your lips, but you get so much more color payoff. And I know a lot of you have told me recently that you've been buying these different colors. A lot of you have bought a lot of the more nudie colors or just more of the colors available, and you've also really enjoyed this formula. The texture is just so incredibly comfortable. Like it doesn't feel like a matte lipstick whatsoever. And also these are refillable, so you can pull this out once you finish it, and then you can just buy the refill, so you don't have to necessarily buy the full tube. And then I also have number 36 L'Interdit, which is the classic red for the Givenchy house. This is just like their iconic red. They tend to come out with a number 36 L'Interdit in possibly every lipstick formula they come out with, because it is their namesake. This is also a very beautiful color. I think if you like the concept of a red lip, but wearing a matte red lip might be a bit intimidating for you, I think the sheer formula might be good for you, because it's not as like saturated and opaque and intense as the other formulas, so it's just a bit more wearable. So if you want to just like ease yourself into some darker, more intense colors, I think the new sheer formula is a good idea. And then last but not least, I received a PR package from Tatcha. This was so out of the blue. I wasn't expecting this whatsoever, but it was such a beautiful package. It was so kind. It was so well thought out. They sent me skincare as well as makeup items. And it's just very all-encompassing. I have a little bit of everything. I have been testing these out behind the scenes, so I will slowly give you guys my reviews on these items here in the next few weeks. So the first item here I want to talk about is the one that I was the most excited for and the one that I've been using the most. This is their Camellia Cleansing Oil. Now, I love a cleansing oil. I love a double cleanse. If you wear as much makeup as I do, you should definitely do a double cleanse just to get everything off. This has a very faint scent, but it's not really noticeable until you start massaging it onto the skin. I normally do 2 pumps onto the skin. So you pump the product into your hand and then you massage it onto a dry skin, and it really does break down everything. I'm talking mascara, eyeshadow, lipstick, all of that. Then you add some water, it turns into a cleansing milk, and you follow it up with the rice wash. This is a soft cream cleanser for normal to dry skin. This also has a soft scent, so if you're very, very sensitive to fragrances and all that, you should be aware of it. So you don't really notice the scent until you start massaging it onto the skin, and this is a really nice creamy cleanser. It lathers nicely and it really gets all of the makeup. Like, I use this combination here in the shower at night to just get everything off, but my skin never feels squeaky clean. You know that tight feeling like you just stripped your skin of everything? I never get this with this combination here, so it just gets everything off nice and clean. And then I follow it up with this Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream. This is the Ultra Hydrating and Anti-Aging Replenishing Japanese Purple Rice for dry skin. First of all, this is such beautiful packaging, purple and gold. I didn't know I liked this combination so much. And something about the packaging here, to me, looks like an apple from a Disney movie. I know that on top here we have a little spatula. So instead of digging your finger into the cream, you have a little spatula to scoop out the product. But this here to me looks like the stem of an apple for some reason. And I just think it looks so beautiful. The cream itself, of course, is also really nice. It has a nice purple color here. So it sort of acts as like a built-in brightening cream. The Japanese purple rice in the moisturizer acts as a very, very strong antioxidant, so to help against like environmental stressors, the sun, all of that. This moisturizer makes your skin so dewy, so plump, so hydrated. It's very nice. It also feels very luxurious, and I love that it has the little spatula on the top here. They also sent me the Silk Powder, which is a radiant translucent setting powder. I have been using this a lot recently in conjunction with multiple different foundations. So I've been using it to set my under eye and also just like a little bit in my T-zone just to diminish any oil or shininess, and it is really nice. I love this as an under eye powder. It is so finely milled. It feels lightweight. Sometimes when you put a powder under your eyes, it dries and looks cakey and emphasizes crow's feet you didn't know you had, but this one here is just, it feels like a silk. It's super lightweight. I've really been enjoying this. I'm gonna keep testing it out before I do like a thorough review, but so far really good. And then the last thing they sent me is something I haven't been able to try yet. This is the Silk Canvas Filter Finish Protective Primer. I really appreciate how extra this is. This box looks really nice. I feel like I could store maybe some jewelry or makeup in a drawer like this. So here you have the primer. And again, instead of dipping your finger in this, you have a little medallion that you can use to pick up the product. Thank you again to Tatcha and also Givenchy for sending out these beautiful packages. I certainly hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if there's any products here that you want to see reviewed, or if you want to see more in depth, let me know in the comments. I certainly hope you enjoyed today's video and maybe got some distraction from real life. If you're new to my channel, or if you've been watching me for some time but just haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Like, comment, subscribe. Those are all fabulous ways to encourage me. So on that note, I think this is all I have for you guys for today. Thank you all so much for stopping by. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.